Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to continue our NFL predictions with the Tennessee Titans, a Titan team that actually started their rebuild year. People don't know it, but this team wound up in rebuild mode, and they landed in a position where no team want to be in. Not good enough to tank, but not bad enough to possibly contend. You do not want to be in that middle position. I think the Titans weren't in that middle position this year, more so on the rebuild side. But this team are undergoing some changes. And they're another team I'm very unknown on about this year. They could be good. Just when we talk about their acquisitions, you'll see that. But then there's the rebuilding of the offense. All of it's going to ride on quarterback Will Levis, who I thought he was okay as a rookie, but probably get another year of coaching and experience. He could get better. Who knows? We'll have to see. And looking at their schedule, it's kind of all over the place. I think they're one of the few teams to not win consecutive games this year. Because they did get a overtime win over the Chargers. They destroyed the Bengals week 4. They did their winning streak against the Colts, particularly at Indianapolis, that got snapped. And then they lost to the Ravens in London. And that was at that point, Ryan Tannehill, he got benched in favor of Will Levis. And once Will Levis came in, he threw 4 touchdowns against the Atlanta Falcons. But then he underwent 3 weeks of growing pains. Really 4 weeks, because yes, they beat the Carolina Panthers that game, but it was not because of him. But their best win of the season, I gotta go with week 14 against the Miami Dolphins. Because Mike Vrabel, he decided to go for 2 early, while down 2 possessions. Their first touchdown, he decided to go for 2. And it worked. They got the win, and we ended the Ryan Tannehill era on the right note by getting a win over the Jacksonville Jaguars to keep Duval out of the postseason. And let's talk about some highlights. And that Will Levis debut season gave Titans fans hope. He threw 4 touchdowns that game. A very impressive showing for a rookie. They stunned, and then like I mentioned in their last slide, their best victory of the season was stunning the Miami Dolphins on Monday Night Football. And then again, their second best victory was spoiling the party for Jacksonville. But little did we know that game was an end of an era for a few people, for a few players in Tennessee. Lowlights, I feel like they realized that this was a rebuilding year. They're still picking the pieces of what John Robinson destroyed last year. They fired Mike Vrabel, which I was kind of surprised, kind of wasn't. But they got rid of Mike Vrabel. It turned out it was a bit of a power struggle between him and ownership, what led to his exit. But it was also the end of the Derrick Henry era. His reign over the AFC South has come to an end as he moved on to bigger pastures. And looking at their acquisitions, they're actually kind of interesting. Okay, Mason Rudolph being a backup quarterback is not interesting, but they added Calvin Ridley and gave him a big boy contract, despite not having in a big boy type year with Jacksonville. I thought he was going to do better in Duval, but they added Tony Pollard, who played at Memphis when back in college from the Dallas Cowboys. Lloyd Cushenberry, they got him for the Broncos. Kenneth Murray, they got him from the Chargers. Chidobe Awuzie, he's from the Bengals. But I feel like their biggest acquisition was a trade. They got L'Jarius Sneed, who had a breakout season with the Chiefs, to join the Tennessee Titans. Now for our losses, Derrick Henry is now gone. They lost their center, Aaron Brewer. He is gone. Andre Dillard, who he wasn't really that good, he's gone. Danico Autry, he's gone. And Terrell Edmonds, whom they traded for during the season, he was not brought back. In the draft, the Titans chose to continue to build on the offensive line. Last year they drafted Peter Skoronski. This year they drafted J.C. Latham, a tackle from Alabama. Most of it, and I think the reason for this was because they tried to get, I feel like Joe Alt was their number one target, but once he was gone by the Chargers, they had to settle with their second best pick. So there was that. I'm also liking their T'Vondre Sweat pick from Texas and Cedric Gray at linebacker. Now, the Tennessee Titans, again, I feel like this season could go better or worse for them. I'm really curious on how they do. Let's take a look.
Okay, Tennessee, let's take a look at your schedule. And we're going to start off with the Chicago Bears on opening day. I already done the Bears. I gave the Titans a loss. Then their second game of the season will be against the New York Jets. This will be another loss for the Titans. 0-2 to start their season. But against Green Bay, I'm going to go ahead and give them a win against Green Bay because one thing about the Titans, they always know how to play this team pretty well. And then that leads us to week 4, where they'll take on the Miami Dolphins. If you don't know, last season, the Titans was able to pick up a surprising win over the Miami Dolphins. But I think with this game being on Monday night, yet again, I think this time the Dolphins should take, keyword should, and they got an early bye week, week 5 bye week. That's very, very early for me. Week 6 offset bye, they'll have the Indianapolis Colts, a team that I don't really know how they're going to go, but I am going to go ahead and take the Titans to win their second game of the season against the Colts. Week 7, the Bills, already done the Bills, gave them a loss. Week 8 against the Lions, I'm going to give in Detroit. I got to give Detroit the win. Week against the Tennessee is get the New England Patriots. I can get here. And then week 10 on the against the Chargers. And it's also, but I think the Titans sneak out the road win. I'm throwing a surprise here and there. But so the Viking winning on the road for that one. With two words I did, I get some losses. Gave them a win, and it probably takes us to the Bengals again. I am going to the Bengals this time, even though the Bengals in this up year. And then they go some split the Week 17 is against the Jags. The Jaguars getting swept by very underwhelming 5-12 record. I do believe with the stuff that the people, if Will Levis could develop, and if the skill position players, he can lead. 5-12, but it's a team. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Get you next time.